Alright, so let's talk about Uncharted. Picture this, you've got this fella Nathan Drake. He's not your typical hero. He's more like that one friend who is super charming, a bit of a mess, and constantly gets into trouble. But the trouble he finds is amazing. We're talking ancient lost cities, mountains of pirate treasure, and secrets that have been buried for centuries. He's basically Indiana Jones for the video game generation, but with more witty one-liners and a slightly higher tendency to almost fall off every single cliff he sees. He's just a normal guy, really, who happens to be a world-class treasure hunter with absolutely ridiculous luck, both good and bad. The legacy of Thieves Collection on PC is a 2-for-1 deal of pure, unadulterated adventure. You get 2 massive games in one package. First up is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This is Nate's big, final, emotional roller coaster of a story. He's trying to live a normal life, but then his long-lost brother Sam shows up and pulls him back in for one last job. It's epic, it's beautiful, and it hits you right in the feels. It's got everything: crazy car chases, massive shootouts, and puzzles that will make your brain do a little happy dance when you solve them. Then you get The Lost Legacy. This one is brilliant because it proves the world of Uncharted is bigger than just one person. This time, you play as Chloe Fraser, who is an absolute legend and a fan-favorite character. She teams up with Nadine Ross, who was a tough-as-nails mercenary from the last game. They head off to India to find a legendary ancient tusk, and their dynamic is just fantastic. It's got all the high-octane action and jaw-dropping scenery you expect from Uncharted, but with a fresh perspective and 2 incredible leading ladies at the helm. So, what you're getting here isn't just a game, it's an experience. It's like starring in your very own Hollywood blockbuster movie, except you are in complete control of the hero. You make the jumps, you take the shots, and you uncover the mysteries. It's a series that's famous for its incredible storytelling, its lovable characters, and its sheer sense of fun. This collection bundles up the grand finale of Nathan Drake's saga, and a fantastic standalone adventure, polished up and ready for a brand new audience on PC. And let me tell you, it is an absolute treat. Like, really look? Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How does this collection, which started its life on the PlayStation 4, actually look and run on a modern PC in 2025? The short answer is, absolutely stunning. I'm talking jaw-on-the-floor gorgeous. The developers Iron Galaxy did a phenomenal job bringing this to PC. If you have a powerful rig, you can crank everything up to ultra settings and just weep at how beautiful it is. We're talking native 4K resolutions, unlocked frame rates that go way beyond 60 frames per second, and details so sharp you can see the individual threads on Nathan Drake's shirt. The performance is just buttery smooth. On a decent modern setup, like something with an RTX 40 series card or the latest from AMD, you can easily get a locked 120 FPS or even higher at 1440p with all the settings maxed out. Even on more modest mid-range hardware from a couple of years ago, you can still get a rock-solid 60 FPS experience at 1080p that looks way better than the original console versions ever did. The game also supports all the fancy new tech like DLSS and FSR, which use AI magic to boost your frame rate without making the game look like a blurry potato. The graphics settings menu is a playground for PC gamers. You can tweak everything, from the quality of the textures and models to the detail of the shadows and reflections. Want more realistic water? Crank it up. Want lusher, denser foliage in the jungles? There's a slider for that. It even has proper support for ultra-wide monitors, which is a complete game-changer. Seeing the sprawling landscapes of Madagascar or the lush jungles of India stretch across your entire field of view is just... it makes the world feel so much bigger and more immersive than ever before. Compared to the original PlayStation 4 release, it's a night and day difference. The PS4 version was a masterpiece for its time, no doubt about it, but the PC port takes that beautiful art and frees it from the limitations of older hardware. The higher resolutions make everything crystal clear, and the higher frame rates make the gameplay feel incredibly responsive and fluid. Even compared to the PS5 version, the PC port pulls ahead with its uncapped frame rates and higher potential for graphical fidelity. It's the definitive version, visually speaking. There's simply no contest. Now for the age-old debate, the question that has divided gamers for generations, controller or mouse and keyboard. For a game like Uncharted, this is a really interesting discussion. The series was born on the PlayStation, designed from the ground up to be played with a controller. All the movement, the climbing, and the platforming just feels so natural with analog sticks. Running around, jumping between ledges, and swinging from your grappling hook feels intuitive and comfortable when you're leaning back with a controller in your hands. It just feels right. But then, you bring a mouse into the equation. Oh boy, does that change things. The shooting in Uncharted has always been a little bit floaty on a controller. It works, it's fine, but it was never the main focus. With a mouse, though, you become a headshot machine. Suddenly you can snap to targets with pinpoint precision. Every gunfight feels faster, more frantic, and you feel like a total action hero. Popping out from behind cover and quickly lining up 3 perfect headshots in a row with a mouse is a deeply satisfying feeling that a controller just can't quite replicate in the same way. So, which one is better? Honestly, there's no single right answer. It completely depends on what you want from the experience. If you're here for the cinematic story, the exploration, and just want to chill and soak in the atmosphere, I'd say stick with a controller. The game has full support for PlayStation's DualSense controller, including the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, which makes you feel every gunshot and explosion. It's incredibly immersive and feels like the way the game was originally meant to be played. However, if you're an action junkie who loves the thrill of a good shootout and you want to play on the harder difficulties, you might fall in love with mouse and keyboard. The precision it offers makes the combat encounters feel brand new, even if you've played the game before. My personal recommendation: use both. I found myself using the controller for all the exploration and traversal sections, and then quickly switching over to my mouse and keyboard whenever a big firefight broke out. The game lets you switch on the fly, and it's the best of both worlds. Let's get to the final, most important question. Here we are in 2025. This game has been out on console for a while. Is the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on PC still worth your time and money? For anyone who has never ever played an Uncharted game before, the answer is a massive, resounding, table-slamming yes. You are getting 2 of the best action-adventure games ever made, looking and playing better than ever before. It's an incredible value proposition and an amazing introduction to this world and these characters. It's a must-play. But what if you're a returning player? What if you've already guided Nate and Chloe through these adventures on your PlayStation? I would say it is still absolutely worth considering, especially if you're a big fan of the series. The visual and performance upgrades are not just minor tweaks, they genuinely transform the experience. Playing in ultra-wide at 120 FPS feels like a completely different game. The added precision of mouse and keyboard can also breathe new life into the combat, making you rethink your strategies for encounters you've played through multiple times. And then there's the secret weapon of PC gaming mods. While Uncharted doesn't have a massive modding scene like Skyrim, the community has still cooked up some brilliant stuff. There are mods that change character outfits, tweak the graphics to look even more cinematic, or even introduce silly things like replacing all the enemies with clowns. It's that extra layer of fun and replayability that you can only get on PC. It allows you to tailor the experience to be exactly what you want it to be, long after you've finished the main story. So, my final verdict? The Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on PC is a top-tier port of 2 phenomenal games. It's a celebration of adventure. For newcomers, it's an absolute no-brainer. Go buy it right now. For veterans, if you have a PC that can make it shine and you've been itching to dive back into this world, this is the definitive way to do it. The upgrades are significant, the performance is fantastic, and the core games are just as magical, heartfelt, and ridiculously fun as they were on day one. It's pure blockbuster entertainment, and it has earned its place as an essential PC title.